So the first question is always, does anybody want to keep the house? Right?
I do.
You do. Good. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now if you want to keep the house, the question becomes, can you afford to keep the house? And what that looks like is you'll need to have a conversation with a lender in order to figure out financially what makes sense. Now, Keith, how far do they normally have to be in the process in order to decide whether that makes sense or not?
Immediately, right? If you're going through the process where finances are going to change and you know that it's coming down the pipe, right? The divorce is imminent, right? Get your financial ducks in a row immediately, right? I see all too often that what happens is typically in divorce proceedings, if one party, very common in divorce proceedings, if one party is awarded the house, then they have X amount of time to refinance the house into their name. And if the marital debt, the mortgage was in both their names, to get it out of the ex-spouse's name and all that good stuff. So they have X amount of time to do that. You could get all your financial ducks in a row with regard to the mortgage and refinancing and making sure that's actually feasible before the divorce goes through and is finalized. So we could wait till the divorce finalizes and then finish the mortgage process, right? So don't wait until after the mortgage is stamped to figure out if you can afford the house or not. Get in front of that as soon as possible. A couple key reasons why is a lot of folks are depending on alimony, child support, and other spousal maintenance to qualify for the houses sometimes. If you're a stay-at-home parent and you're getting the child support and alimony, then all of a sudden, a lot of folks don't realize you have to have a track record of receiving that for 6 months prior to being able to use that on a mortgage application is the standard underwriting practice on that. So if you're right out the gate and you need to get that house refinanced and you're trying to use that spousal or child support income to qualify, you can't use it yet. So you could find yourself handcuffed or worst case scenario, depending on how the divorce decree is written up, you may be forced to sell down the road and put yourself in a position where you just weren't financially able to do it. It's a big shock to the system, both for family and kids and all that stuff. So if you know during the process that it's not feasible, then you can change how the outcome is going to look in the divorce decree. If you know that the process is feasible, you can, vie for your position that you want to keep the house, and that's all going to financially line up. So it's really important to not wait on those. So many people do. It's important to get your financial ducks in a row right when you know it happens. And that's kind of alluding back to what Darcy was saying. We have people that do call us and say, hey, thank you for helping us buy the house 2 years ago. And, we're deciding to go in different ways. And these are repeat clients coming back to us and say, hey, would I be able to afford the mortgage by myself? So we can run those numbers. We're happy to run those numbers. And definitely you should empower yourself to run those numbers before you make those final decisions.
Now, I have a question for you, caller.
Yes.
Are there kids involved? Not the furry types.
Okay. Yes. Okay, no fur children, but yes.
Okay, so when children are involved, I'm not sure if you've heard this term yet or not. It's called nesting. And sometimes what's happening is people are making the decision to have the family house remain the family house that the kids stay at. And one parent stays with the kids for part of the week, and the other parent comes and stays with the kids for another part of the week, and you still have co-ownership in the house.
I hadn't thought of that. That's
right?
a great idea. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I don't know. Well, I don't plan on getting divorced, but I don't know that I could go down that road, but it is a trend that we're seeing happen right now. So there's many things to think about. How, if you have a great relationship, can you still do that for the kids? Is it better for your family to remain a family and just no longer be a couple, or to be in different places? And unfortunately, the financials oftentimes guide a lot of that decision.
Yeah.
So hopefully we've given you a little bit to think about.
You have. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.